Hi, this is Shay Jackson with Hype Educational Specialist, and today we are going over word problems for grades 7th through 9th, and the concept is solving equations with like terms. Let's get started. Our problem says, the sum of two numbers is 402. The larger number is twice the smaller number. What are the numbers? Always in our problem-solving strategy, we are going to do number 1, find out what we are looking for, and 2, figure out what information is needed to solve the problem. So what are we looking for? As always, most times whenever you are trying to figure out what you're looking for, that statement will be preceded by a question mark. Okay, so find that question mark, and whatever sentence is in front of it, that's what we are looking for. Not always, but most times, that is how you figure out what you are looking for. And what we are looking for are the numbers that equal to 402. Secondly, what information do we need to solve the problem? Well, we need to know that the sum of the numbers, we know that sum means addition, is 402, and also we need to know that the larger number is twice the smaller number. So there are going to be two things that are critical in solving this problem. Okay, so in our example, we know that the smaller number, since we don't know the value of the smaller number, we are going to represent the smaller number with the variable x, and the larger number with 2x. Why 2x? Because it says that the larger number is twice, which means 2, is twice the smaller number. So the smaller number is going to equal x, and the larger number is going to equal 2x. So whenever we set up our equation, we are going to have the smaller number plus the larger number is equal to 402. We are going to substitute in our variables, so we will have x plus 2x is equal to 402. Now we're going to combine like terms. X plus 2x. Both variable terms have the same variable, which is x, and also the same exponent, so I can combine these two terms. X, we know there's an imaginary 1 in front of it. Well, there is a 1, but you can't see it, so it's really 1x plus 2x, and that will equal 3x. So now we will have 3x is equal 402. We're looking for the value of our x, so we will divide 3 on both sides. Once we do that, our x will equal 134. Let's go over that again. First, we substituted in the value of our variables. The smaller number is equal to x, and the larger number is equal to 2x. Since x and 2x have the same variable and the same exponent, we can combine them. We have x plus 2x is equal to 3x, and that is equal to 402. Since we are trying to find the value of our x, we are going to divide each side of the equation by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1, so we'll just have x on the left-hand side. And 402 divided by 3 is 134. So again, our x is equal to 134. Now we need to find the value of our larger number. Okay, so we know that our larger number is 2 times the smaller number. And we represented our larger number with the variable term 2x. So our larger number is equal to 2. We know what our x is, 134. So we're going to substitute in the value of our x for 134. And 2 times 134 is equal to 268. So our larger number is equal to 268. So now, let's go back to figuring out what are our numbers. We know that our smaller number is equal to 134 and our larger number is equal to 268. So let's do our check. We have our smaller number, 134, plus our larger number, 268, is equal to 402. When we add 134 plus 268, the answer is 402, so our numbers are correct. Let's look at our next problem. A piece of pole 72 inches long is cut into 2 pieces. The larger piece is 2 inches, I apologize, it is 10 inches longer than the shorter piece. How long is each piece of pole? Again, we are going to figure out what we are looking for and also what information is needed to solve the problem. What are we looking for? We are looking for how long each piece of the pole is. What information is needed to solve the problem? Well, we need to know how long the pole is, which is 72 inches. Also, we know that there are 2 pieces of the pole, and that the longer piece is 10 inches longer than the shorter piece. Okay, since we do not know the value of our smaller or larger piece of the pole, we will use variables for their values. So we're going to represent our smaller piece with the variable x. And our larger piece, since we know that it is 10 inches longer than the smaller piece, we are going to represent that value with x plus 10. So now let's set it up in an equation. We have our smaller piece plus our larger piece is equal to 72. Let's substitute in our variable terms. So we will have x plus 10 is equal to 72. Okay, so what we're going to do first is combine our like terms. Again, we can combine the x's because they are the same variable and they have the same exponent value. X plus x is equal to 2x. So on the left side of our equation, we will have 2x plus 10 equals, right hand side of the equation, 72. Whenever we are working on an equation or trying to solve an equation, we're always going to work on the side where the variable is, because our ultimate goal is to isolate the variable, or another way of saying it is to get the variable by itself. Since our variable in this equation is on the left hand side, that's the side that I'm going to continue to work on first in order to solve for x. Next, what we're going to do is we are going to subtract 10 on both sides. So on the left hand side, we will have 10x plus 10 minus 10. And on the right hand side of the equation, it is 72 minus 10. Remember, whenever you're solving equations, you always have to balance the equation out. What does that mean, Miss Jackson? That means whatever you do on the left hand side of the equation, you have to do on the right as well. Once we subtract the 10 on both sides, we will have on the left hand side 2x is equal to, on the right hand side, 72 minus 10 is equal to 62. We're going to work on the left hand side of our equation again because we're trying to solve for the variable x. In order to isolate or get the variable by its, so we are going to divide 2 on both sides of the equation. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So on the left hand side we will have x, and 62 divided by 2 is 31. So x is equal to 31. Now we are going to find the value of our larger piece. Our larger piece is 10 inches longer than the smaller piece. The larger piece is equal to 10 plus, we know that the smaller piece is x, so we'll have 10 plus x. We're going to substitute in the value of x since we do know the value of our smaller piece, which is 31, and 10 plus 31 is equal to 41. So our larger piece is 41. How long is each piece of the pole? The smaller piece is 31 and our larger piece is 41. Let's do a check. So our smaller piece plus our larger piece is equal to 72. We know that the value of our smaller piece is 31 plus the value of our larger piece is 41, and 31 plus 41 is equal to 72. 72 is equal to 72, so our values or our answers are correct. Talk to you soon.